books to Munch in November. So as usual, this month I will be devouring 3 glorious books, 2 books that I've had on my shelf for a while, most probably one newer than the other one, and an indie pick of the month. Choosing what books to read this month was a very fun, interesting experience because I was like, okay, I know my reading style, and if I can get a book that's around 450, maximum 500 pages, I can finish it, 3 of those books in a month. However, I have about 7 or 8 books on my shelf, more, that are way over. So at first I was like, oh, okay, I am going to read The Darkest Minds because I really want to read The Darkest Minds. But The Darkest Minds is 517 pages. 500 is already pushing it, so not The Darkest Minds. Then there was Mistborn, which I've had on my shelf seriously for 3 years, maybe more. But yes, Mistborn is 643 pages, so can't read it. Iron Gold, 596 pages. Lady Midnight, 669 pages. Tower of Dawn, 658 pages. The list goes on and on of books that I've had for so long, but they just keep passing that 500 mark where I'm like, okay, if I read that, I can't finish my 3 books this month. So this month I have chosen 1 long book and 2 books that I think are more average size, the respectable 300-ish sort of pages. So hopefully I can finish them before the end of November, and then I have extra time to start one of these behemoth books behind me because I really want to read them. I know the stories are fantastic, but they're just so long. So the book that I am currently reading that I started this month is The Fates Divide, which is the second to the Carve the Mark series by Veronica Roth. I am really enjoying it. I will of course give a full review once I actually finish it because I'm not that far into it yet. But Carve the Mark was a fantastic adventure which takes place in space, so if you haven't read it, it follows the lives of Kyra Novak and Akos Keraseth, and basically there is a current in space, like a magical current in space that people get their energy source and their abilities from, and Kyra's power is to create pain, and Akos's power is to take it away, or he can stop other people's current gifts. That's his power. So he kind of thinks he doesn't have a power and it's shit, but then he realizes, oh, actually he stops other people's powers. So for her, she creates pain but also suffers the pain herself. He can help her with that, and there's prophecies and demented kings and evil brothers and all these things, and betrayal happens, and of course, it's a big epic space adventure. And so after choosing The Fates Divide, because I really wanted to find out what happened next, that's when it came to choosing another book to read, and I was just like, these guys are just beasts, so I can't read them. So I went through almost every book on my to be read shelf, and I found one that I really want to read that is actually only 250 pages. So I'm feeling very confident about this one, and that is Batman Nightwalker by Marie Lu. I read The Wonder Woman by Leigh Bardugo in this series of, DC Icon series. So I read the Wonder Woman one by Leigh Bardugo. I really enjoyed it. It was so fun to get this little kind of prequel story to Wonder Woman, and just, a whole other adventure that she goes on. So I'm really looking forward to reading what Marie Lu does with Batman. So this follows Bruce when he's about to have his 18th birthday party. So it starts out when he's 17. Apparently he makes a reckless choice that gets him into the asylum, the Arkham Asylum, where all the crazy ones go. So he ends up there, and apparently he meets somebody, and she is connected to the Nightwalkers, which are, I don't know exactly what they are, but they are something that is terrifying Gotham City, and Bruce is gonna inherit all his riches and his gadgets when he's 18. So it is also kind of a young Batman story, which I am looking forward to diving into. And like I said, it is a nice, readable length, which makes me confident that I can finish this and the 3rd book before the end of this month, I think. And the 3rd and final book that I'm reading this month is my indie pick of the month. Series by Ben Alderson. The first one is called Cloaked in Shadow. If you haven't read it, you should go get a copy right now because I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. It involves shifters, elves, represents the LGBTQ community, and takes place in a magical, fantastical world. So Found in Night follows the lives of Adrian, Zachariah, and Nia, who is Zachariah's best friend. Adrian is the prince from the first book. You have to read it to fully understand, and of course I'm not going to give too much of a description about this book because that could lead to spoilers, but it follows their lives of where they are now based on what happened in the first book when there is deceit amongst the kingdom, and basically where the king of the elven capital Thessalina needs shapeshifters to help fuel his army because they have many threats against them, and basically he gets Zachariah, who actually is not a shifter, and Zachariah doesn't know what he is, and of course you have to read the story to find out what he is, and there's just many enemies knocking at their doors, and there's deceit and there's betrayal, and there's twists and there's turns, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens in Found in Night because it ends in a way that yeah. And that is all for the books I plan to munch this month of November. What are you reading this month? Have you read any of the books that I am reading this month? And what did you think of them without giving me spoilers? And also, are you going to read any of these books if you haven't read them already? And that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, then please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you like all the other videos, then please consider subscribing. Until next time, I'll see you. Bye!